Win, thank you. Time now for our world's best guest. We welcome in the Valero Texas Open champion from a couple of weeks ago in San Antonio. Adam Scott joins us now from Muirfield Village. Adam, thanks for spending some time with us here on the Grey Goose 19th hole. Let me start with this. A couple of years ago, you won in Dallas. You were third in the world golf ranking. And then you went to the U.S. Open at Torrey Pines. You were paired with Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson. On the Wednesday before you played, you told me that you had made so much money that finances didn't matter anymore. It was time for you to start competing in majors and winning major championships. So having said that, 2 years removed from that, are you as competitive now as you were back then?
I think I'm probably more competitive now than back then. You know, everything in my career to that point had been on and up. And you know, last year, obviously, I had some tough times. And you know, to battle my way back out through that was tough, but it makes you want it more. And I think I've learned some things from that and from even the good times before of what I can do better now. So I think as I start playing better now, I'm going to be more competitive, and still the same thing goes. I want to compete on the big stage in those major championships.
Hi, Adam. Hey, thanks for spending a few minutes with us. I'm going to hit the rewind button as well. I was in Dallas a couple of years ago when you won in that, what was about 40 degrees that day and blowing about 30, and you played exceptionally well in the final round and won. And I was very impressed afterward with your honesty. You seemed to suggest that you were hoping for bigger things out of yourself. I'm wondering, are you satisfied at this point with what you've achieved in your career?
Yes and no. Yes, I've achieved a fair amount. I've won a lot of golf tournaments around the world, maybe 16 or 17, I think, and I think that's quite good for 10 years as a pro. You know, the depth of talent's pretty deep out here. Winning is not easy, and that's kind of what I base my success on, is winning. But absolutely, I feel I'm not satisfied with the way I've played in the big events, majors and World Golf Championships. I won the Players and I won the Tour Championship, but they're the really only shining light in my big tournament resume. And it's disappointing to me that I haven't been able to do that. But, you know, I've kind of taken a new approach to things this year, coming into a new decade, and hopefully this is a decade where I can turn that around and make my mark in the big tournaments.
Adam, given the prolonged slump, was the Texas Open victory the most important of your career?
It was an important victory. To win on the PGA Tour is very important. To keep winning out here is very important. It had been a couple years, and that couple years can turn into 4 or 5 years really quickly. We've seen, you know, a lot of great players, you know, struggle to win out here in the past few years. You know, Jim Furyk, took him a couple years to win. Ernie Els took him a couple years to win. It's not easy to win out here, so it was an important victory. I don't think it was the most important, though. I'm a little biased probably, because I think winning the Australian Open at the end of last year for me was the most important victory in my career at the time. You know, it was a real slump buster, I guess, and I know the field wasn't as strong as some of the other events going on, but to win my National Open at home, something I've been trying to do since I was a kid, really. It was a slump buster, but also, you know, it made me believe that I was a winner again. And you know, after a while of playing bad out here, you can forget that. So that was a big win for me.
What was the reason for the slump, and what did you learn coming out of it?
You know, everything kind of just stacked up on itself, I guess. You know, my golf swing got away from me a little bit. You know, I just couldn't get on top of it. And, you know, that kind of bled into the rest of my game. You know, my short game suffered. There was a lot of pressure on that all of a sudden because I wasn't hitting the ball as well as I normally did. And, you know, and then also there was a lot of pressure on my putting. And, you know, history shows for me that my putting's always the streaky thing. You know, when I putt well, I'm a really good putter. And, you know, when I'm off, I'm not a very good putter. And when there's a lot of pressure on all the time from the rest of my game being scrappy, that suffered. Therefore, the confidence was lost, and so on. So everything stacked up on itself, and it took me a while to get my confidence back and my ball striking back. You know, it was a lot of hard work, and you know, digging it out on the range and the putting green and the chipping green. You know, what have I learned from it? I've learned so many things, but really, you know, the biggest test was a test of character. I think just to, you know, come back out and feel like I can compete with these guys still and be a world-class player. And, you know, it wasn't an overnight thing to come back out, but you know, I feel like I'm there now. I'm back heading in the right direction. And, you know, I think the test of character was the big thing. You know, I think, you know, I feel like I've got a lot more heart than maybe I thought I had, and maybe a lot of other people thought I had.
Adam, I'm wondering if you're working with a swing coach, why you left Butch I believe last spring, and if you traced your struggles to leaving Butch, if there was any relationship between the two.
Butch and I kind of stopped working together at Akron last year. We just, you know, it had been over 10 years we'd been working together, and we were struggling to put it all together, you know, and we were feeling like there was a lot of pressure on each of us, and we thought we'd try and take some of the pressure off and, you know, just let me go and hit and try and just find my game a little bit. So that was kind of toward the end of last year, and I've been working a little bit with a close friend of mine, Brad Malone, who I've known for a lot of years, and he knows my game well. And he's been good because he's been a little more on hand for me being down in Australia. And I've been able to talk with him and work through a lot of things, and he's done a lot of good things for my game in recent times. So that's worked out well. You know, Butch and I have a great relationship. He has been the biggest influence on my career, no doubt. And, you know, it was just time for us to take a break because, you know, these things run their course out here, and 10 years was a great stint. We did a lot of good stuff.
Adam, you're a President's Cup guy. What did you think of the announcement made earlier on Wednesday that Muirfield Village will host the President's Cup in 2013? And how do you feel about it being staged at venues where the PGA Tour is regularly each year?
I think it was a great venue choice for the President's Cup. Muirfield Village is one of the great tracks that we play. Obviously, the Memorial Tournament is one of the biggest events on tour. But this is certainly a course that can live up to you know, the President's Cup matches and everything that comes with it. It's a little interesting because we all play here a lot, and there's no real home advantage, I'd say, for the American team in that, because most of the international team probably played the course a lot. But you know, there aren't many courses we play where there's an advantage on course. Obviously, you know, the crowd and the support is a little bit where the advantage falls. But you know, I think it'll be exciting. It's a great venue. It's held a Ryder Cup before, so obviously it can cope with everything that comes with it. I think it's a good move for the President's Cup.
Adam, you're always kind with your time. We appreciate you spending it with us here on the Grey Goose 19th hole. Good luck this week in Muirfield Village.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, Win, let's go over to you.